Hey up everybody, Richie here from Hobby Hobbies. Happy New Year and welcome to my new kit releases for the month of January 10th, 2023. As always, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button to get all these updates, all these videos, all my other content, all cool stuff, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now, usually I do 20 subjects, and I kind of thought with the holiday period it might be a struggle to get 20, but actually I was surprised. There's a lot of cool stuff being announced, and you actually have two bonus ones this month, so I have 22 subjects to show you guys. As always, they're kind of different genres, and I kind of group them together a little bit this time around to kind of keep them all together, like the armor and the aircraft and that kind of stuff. So, enough waffling, let's go ahead and look at the first one. Now, this is Tallery 24th scale BMW 320 Group 5 from 1976. Cool looking BMW there, and yeah, there you go. I believe it's a new tool, some interesting markings. And we start off with a new car kit. Now, Revell 24th scale Trabant 601S. Just an interesting looking thing, and just look at those markings. It's kind of like graffitied on the side there. I include this because it's just very unique and something very different. And there you go, like a piece car, I guess. All right, this is the last of the cars for today, and I'm including, it's a part works, but I'm including it because it's a model kit, nonetheless. So Agora Models announced just before Christmas, they got a 007 James Bond license, and they're going to bring out a ton of James Bond cars in 1/8 scale. Now, part works aren't cheap, as you can see they run about $1,800 US. And how it works, Agora works, I think it works over 12 or 24 months, where you basically pay a subscription, like $100, $120 a month, whatever it may be, and they send you parts, and you collect all the parts, and you build the car. So they're all die-cast metal, very detailed, normally like lights work, horn works, some sound, that kind of stuff. Come with a display case. Agora is probably one of the better ones. As many of you may know, I'm working on a fan home Dodge Charger right now. I think I'm at part 70 out of 100, so I'm probably about 6 to 8 months away, and then I'm storing my parts, so I'm going to build it all at once, like binge build it. But it's these are big cars. 1/8 scale. You're looking at a couple of foot long and weighing about 20 pounds, 8 kilos kind of size and weight. But I believe for sure the DB5, which you see in the top there, is going to be the first one out in 2023, and then from there on in, they've alluded to a few pictures. They've been scanning and doing some research. So you got various Aston Martins, and you got that Lotus Esprit there as well from James Bond. So it's interesting, all these James Bond cars coming out. If you're a big fan, again, 1/8 scale, they're beautiful display pieces, but they're not cheap, $1,800, and that's my estimate. It could run, depending on which way you go and what which manufacturer, and whether it's like Fan Home or the Agostini, that kind of thing. But that's a general kind of price point. All right, moving on to boats, and the only boat today, or ship, should I say, is the 700 Trumpeter HMS Belfast and 1959 version. Now, this is the same ship that's parked on the Thames in downtown, like London, and you can go visit it, I guess, and walk around it and stuff. All right, kind of excited about this one. I'm not a big armor guy, but recently I picked up a couple of kits, and this has piqued my interest. So it's for the British military fans out there, the 35th scale Hobby Boss Scammel Commander with a 62-ton crane and trailer, basically. So you're not getting see on the top left picture, you're not getting the armor, your tank, you're just getting the truck and the trailer. Now, this isn't cheap by any means. These 35th scale tank transporters from Hobby Boss and Trumpeter, like last couple of years, have gone really high in price. They're really expensive, but they all look cool. And I've been doing a lot of research. I believe this was around in the 90s, and especially around Desert Storm, moving stuff around for the UK back then. So I am tempted to actually pick this one up and maybe do a little vignette or diorama with a Challenger one on the back. We shall see. But yeah, so yeah, British tank transport. You don't see many of those, so there you go. Next up, 35th scale Tacom T-55AD. Just a cool looking T-55, just recently announced, and just looks cool in Tacom, so it's going to be a really good quality kit. Next up, ICM 35th scale, and this is kind of a combo pack. So you're getting all 3 trucks pictured there, plus you're getting the figures. I'm sure you're definitely getting the 4 figures in the foreground. I'm sure you're getting the drivers as well. I'm not totally sure how many figures you're getting. It doesn't quite say. Well, it says that actually the set is to make excuse me, set to make the scene of inventory and vehicles from the American Expeditionary Corps in Europe in March 1918. Figures, yeah, it doesn't specify figures, inventory and drivers. So yeah, so I'm guessing you get all what you see in the picture there. So 3 figures, 3 trucks plus all the figures. All right, some more figures. This time around, mini art, British soldiers in cafe. Now, I'm sorry for the British slant on this, but being British, obviously, I'm a little biased, so I'm going to put more British subjects and releases in these than other areas. They've into dioramas again, interesting little subject, and you can see it kind of painted up there in the bottom picture. Continuing with armor, this time rifle models. They're going to release the M1A1 FEP Abrams with a combat Dozer blade. Now, they've released various versions. I think this is just a different version here of the Dozer on the front. Alright, border models, 35th scale. Again, they're churning out the kits. Jagdpanzer 4. So interesting pictures there. It looks very dragon-esque the way it's presented there on the artwork. Alright, now onto the aircraft, and this is probably, for me, one of the most exciting ones, I think for a lot of people too. Finally, a CT-114 Tutor, which is the Canadian Showbirds, the display team. Kinetic bringing this out in 48 scale, just announced it a week or two ago. If you go onto the Facebook page, you'll see a little bit more rendering, some CAD work. And I know a lot of people have been asking for this one. So, it's going to be a decent size in 48 scale, and it's you definitely, do that. If you like your display team stuff, that's probably a good one to get. Moving on, ICM 72nd scale now, the Sally. ICM again, 48th scale, the AH-1G Arctic Cobra. This is a limited edition. So this is 48th scale, as I mentioned, Cobra. They've got several boxings of this one, so I guess the limited edition is having that kind of Arctic markings. Moving on, Revell 48 scale, B-24D Liberator. And I put 48 scale, so I put a note there, the wingspan's going to be 69.6 centimeters, so, over a couple of feet wide. So that's quite a big beast. All right, next up, Tamiya, and they're releasing, I think we know about the BF-109, which we'll see in the next slide for a few weeks now, but this year they're releasing these packs, like dual packs. So you basically get a small piece of armor, like a Jeep, an example for this one, and you get the aircraft, and they're really well priced too. So this one you get the very nice P-51D Mustang aircraft, you see the picture there, and plus you get a little 48 scale Jeep and figure. So it creates a nice little kind of vignette. So this is the first one of the 3, so this is the P-51. Next up is the BF-109 G6, which is a very nice kit if you like 48 scale warbirds. And this one comes with a Kubelwagen and a couple of figures. Look at the map there. I guess you got a pilot and a ground crew. This one I think we knew a couple of weeks back. And then the third one is the Dornier 335A, again with a Kubelwagen, the same figures as the BF-109. So a couple of dual packs of 48 scale armor. It's really nice. A Jeep in 48 scale is certainly going to be teeny tiny. But yeah, great price. And I believe they did this, I think it was like a while back, several years back. I think they did the Nighthawk, right? Nighthawk and like a Humvee, I think they did. Probably about 10 years ago, if not longer now. All right, another aircraft, Eduard, another Hind they're bringing out, which is the best of the Hind. Surprise, surprise. Another limited edition, different markings basically. This is the Hind E. So you can see what you get there. You're getting some resin wheels, a couple of resin parts, the mast set, plus some interesting markings. The first one for sure, it's looking very different to the rest. Okay, AMT, I bring out 32nd scale, which is Studio Series TIE Fighter. I just saw a quick snippet of this one, so this will be out in 2023 at some point. And it should be pretty awesome. Again, 32nd scale, which is the screen, as I say, see in the box there, screen accurate 1/32nd scale Star Wars fighter model kits from AMT. So that alludes that there's more on the way as well if they're putting kits plural. So this one's going to be the New Hope TIE Fighter. Don't have any pictures yet of the renderings of the plastic, but that's the box art, I guess. Keeping the Star Wars theme, 1/9 scale Revell Mandalorian, and he's about 1/9 scale, so it puts him around about 24.5 centimeters. And the nice thing about this, you can see the picture, you actually get the whole little diorama base with it too. So you're getting the backdrop and you're getting those Stormtrooper helmets on the skewers and spikes, I say, and then various other things. So yeah, just nice little kind of scene there if you're into figure painting. If you're, again, a British skew to this, if you're British military, you'll certainly know this. And it's 12 scale by, I think it's Tommy Tech. I think it's typo, and it's not Tom Tech, it's Tommy Tech. LA-95 assault rifle. British issue, and those of us who have been serving the British military will certainly recognize this one. 12 scale, it's like $11. Available in Plaza Japan and Japan. It's not out yet, pre-order only. It'll be out later this year. Okay, last up is Meng. I don't know the scale on this thing or what really it is. It's a Mecha 001L and it's 47 centimeters high. So it looks very different. If you're into your like your Gundam and all that kind of stuff, this might be something for you. Just a couple of images or something very unique and different. And there we go. That wraps up. I know kind of rattled through that pretty quickly, but that rattles up the 22 new releases for January. I'll be back in February with my next 20. So in the meantime, have a great week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.